What is good, guys? It's Ray J back with another video. And this one, I want to talk about what's going on with Tesla stock in the market. I also want to break down some very important news about how I view the market now. Let me first say that I'm not a financial planner, so take nothing I say as financial advice. Now, anyways, let's talk about what's going on with the market. I want to just break down that SPY is starting to break out, is currently holding above this 460 area. I mentioned that if we did this, I would turn a lot more bullish. And we had this range on SPY that was stuck for the last couple of weeks. It looks like we're trying to break out of this range. So one catalyst that could actually affect whether this market is going to break out or not is going to be CPI coming out for Tuesday. But from what I'm looking at, there's a very, very high probability we're going to get an as expected CPI or a below expected CPI, which would be bullish for the markets. For that reason, I think there's a very good chance that SPY is going to eventually break out. So 467 before the year ends. I think we're going to get another big push in the markets, and there's a lot more upside coming. And I think that CPI could just be one catalyst to help fuel the fire. Now, I want to see what CPI is just to be safe, but I still lean a lot more in this direction now because we got this breakout. Could we pull back a little bit here and there? Yes, there could be small ones, but I think we're going to most likely just break out. I was also anticipating like a pullback to be coming for either Friday or Monday. We got the pullback during the pre-market. The market came down, and then we actually touched 455 during the pre-markets. Then the market just bounced like it was nothing, and the market's continuing to look bullish. So, with that being said, guys, sometimes I have to make these adjustments, and I'm not going to change my word from this point on. I'm leaning a lot more bullish. The only thing that could change me is going to be CPI, but I think that that's going to favor the upside. So I'm leaning a lot more bullish, and I think that new all-time highs are coming for SPY. I think that for the QQQ, we're going to see this thing break out as well. I think it's going to be breaking past 400 a share before the year ends, and we're going to be breaking 394 very, very soon as well. I think that tech is going to play a big role in this pump that we're seeing. I think that the QQQ is holding up nicely, and I think that as time goes on, we're going to be looking to see how CPI ends up affecting this. And then I really believe that there's more upside still coming. So I'm leaning more in that direction now. My view has shifted, but I'm not going to change from this point on, guys. I'm leaning a lot more bullish. I think CPI will play a big role, but I really believe that CPI is going to be decent, and I think that the market is just going to continue. I think Nvidia has a $480 target at this imbalance, and eventually 500 as the next target. I think it's going to bounce here with a nice double bottom like formation. I think that we're seeing a change in market structure officially. We could officially say this since this top broke right here, right? Because we were failing to break this during the pre-market. We actually broke the top here, which suggests that Nvidia is breaking out. So we're going to be looking for this imbalance fill. 480 is my target for like the really short term. By Tuesday, it should be breaking past that. And I anticipate more upside. Apple is going to be most likely be reaching 197. It might actually trade sideways around that range, then eventually try to break out towards 200. I think Apple looks bullish in a very, very nice accumulation structure. I could even like hide our technicals, just show you what I'm seeing on the weekly, just real quick. It's starting to look even more bullish. There's nothing stopping it. And we also have like a cup and handle like formation developing on Apple on the weekly time frame. With this looking bullish, there's going to be more upside for next week. And I think that CPI is going to help launch Apple even higher. Now, looking back at the chart, guys, very, very pleased with how Apple is holding up. Sometimes things don't go as we expect. It happens, but I'm going to be shifting it, my view. And I just want to note that because we got this confirmation to the upside, we can lean a lot more bullish. And from this point on, I am going to be very consistent. I just think that the end of the year is going to be bullish, and there's just nothing stopping these bulls. They're very, very strong. Finally, for Tesla, I think I kind of skipped over Tesla. Tesla is bullish because we're continuing to respect our trend line. We touched it here, we bounced, touched it here, we bounced, touched it here, we bounced. Tesla's holding up nicely, and I think that Tesla's just getting tighter and tighter right over here. So right off the bat, you can see that Tesla is just continuing to get tighter. I think it's going to maintain this tightness and eventually break out on Tuesday. I think that Tuesday might most likely help Tesla break out. I think it's going to eventually make its way up to this high right here, past 250, and eventually it's going to be trending where this orange trend line happens to be. And get very, very close to like that 260 area before the year ends. But at the very least, I see 250 plus coming. I think Tesla's looking bullish, very, very nice looking bullish structure. And I think that this head and shoulders was just a trap that was formed for retail. I think Tesla's going to break out. Part of why I'm saying that is because when you zoom out and go on the 4-hour time frame, for example, you could quite clearly see that Tesla has a nice inverse head and shoulder structure. The overall structure is looking bullish. When we zoom out Well, back here, you can see we have this nice inverse head and shoulders. We've been on a very, very nice uptrend, and Tesla's continuing to hold up very, very nicely. So I think Tesla is going to be breaking out to higher levels. I think we have this imbalance to fill. We've been holding our trend line of support very nicely, and we're not going to get much of a pullback from here now. I think that if we get a pullback, it's going to depend on CPI, but I think that CPI is most likely going to be as expected. I'll show you guys why a little bit later on, but I think that Tesla now has upside coming. I'm leaning a lot more bullish. We're starting to break out, and there's more room to go, guys. We're not done yet. We have many weeks of bullish price action left for the year. I think that this is going to be very, very good for Tesla. So that's what I wanted to say, guys. I'm sorry that sometimes I don't always please everyone. I may say things that aren't always correct. I make mistakes. I'm a human, but I'm going to be very consistent from this point on. I'm going to be honest with you all that I'm leaning a lot more bullish, and I think that we're going to see a very, very bullish break. I also want to note that the market is not necessarily done with the bullish move. There's so much room left. So once again, guys, there's opportunity there. Do what you have to do, guys. Take care. I just wanted to make this as clear as possible. All right, I'll be talking more later on. Tesla and the market to the moon because the long term is very bright. And peace out.